shook my laptop to make sure there was no unnecessary dust in it. So the people...
Yeah, it was a big deal. It was a big deal last week.
People were fucking mad. People
Furious.
were fucking mad. Folk, our customer service line, a.k.a. a small group chat, was not happy.
Why? Lit up. I almost forgot about... Well, so yeah, last week we record the podcast, and then at the end, like towards the end, we noticed it says like, whatever, Jeff's browser space, maybe... I don't know what it's called.
An error neither one of us had ever seen before.
Yeah. So I wouldn't be recording. I was like, oh, no. So you hop back on. We keep going. Then I download the episode to edit it. And I was like, okay, it's in 2 parts. But I'll just use the cloud recording instead of the one that goes onto your computer. So, like, the first recording, before it first broke off, was fine. Then the second half recorded like 3 minutes. So that's why. I don't understand it. We don't need to get into it. We do, we offer our humblest apologies. We're so sorry for the inconvenience. I can't imagine how that made you feel.
So call us up. Let us know how you feel. It's important to describe those feelings. But to a caveat to what Matt said, yes, we're sorry. But if you do go beyond that, looking for more than that apology, you're not going to get it, because at the end of the day, I don't care how you feel about it. Like, you can tell me if it helps you, but just know I don't care, because I didn't do anything wrong, and I'm kind of...
gave you 28 minutes back in your day.
Yeah, changing the game. Changing the game turned into corporate podcast.
Oh, this is going really well.
Yeah.
That just delayed by like 5 seconds. Oh, God. It's imploding. I need some advice.
Wow, coming in hot.
All right, 4:30.
Okay.
And couldn't go back to sleep. It also happened Friday, so woke up at like 3:30. Just laid there. I wouldn't say it's like super like insomniac vibes where it's like really trying hard to go back to sleep. I do just lay there and close my eyes and rest, and maybe I'll get like 5 minutes here and there. Mm-hmm. But it's not a way to live. So from you, I need recommendation on how to sleep a full night, but it can't involve anything like diet and exercise and wellness or routine
before you get into some
like basically the equivalent of a sleeping pill. Yeah. So give me the equivalent of a sleeping pill that's not a sleeping pill. That's just... Oh man, I just can't keep doing this.
Right, because yeah. Ooh, you have really taken the wind out of that sail of suggestions.
Yeah. I know that's the answer, but
I don't deal with, like, people talk about a lot I wake up and then I can't get back to sleep. I don't deal with that a lot. I never really have. I have shitty nights of sleep where I'm restless, where I'm probably waking up like 20, 25 times during the night, but I go right back to sleep. Like, I wake up, I shift, I go back to sleep. So, like, those are the types of ones I have. What sounds like your experience is that you wake up and you're almost like alert, and then to some extent, something that jostles you awake enough that makes you alert that you just don't go back down. And I don't know what I would do with myself. I honestly don't know the last time that's happened to me. Like, if I'm up, like, let's say it's a work day, because that's a game changer. Your brain's going to operate differently about trying to go back to sleep if it's a work day. So let's say it's a work day and I got to get up my normal work time. Let's say it's 6:30. Well, you wake up at 3 a.m. So you're like, all right, I'm 3.5 hours ahead of schedule. Because there's a point where you're like, see, the problem is I'm an anxious person. So the first thing that would come to mind for me would be like, I could get up and do something, but I'm worried that I'm going to get really tired around 5:30, 5 o'clock, and then I'm going to go back to sleep and be in a real solid sleep, but then I have to wake up in an hour. Like, I would start getting so anxious about what's going to happen from here, and that would be... So, like, now we woke up at 3. Now I have thought about every shitty scenario. It's probably 3:02. And now that I'm anxious, now that I've woken up and really considered all the potential possibilities, I'm at least going to the bathroom because it's like, all right, let's see if this is the culprit. So even if I don't need to go to the bathroom, I'm going to get up and I'm going to probably go to the bathroom. I'm going to get some water. And then I might do the... sit on like the couch and just kind of like change like my seating and stuff.
Really?
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the couch. I'm gonna go to the couch, not lay down on the couch, but I'm gonna sit on the couch, and probably a bad idea. But I'll pull out my phone, because then obviously when you start pulling out your phone and start scrolling, that's making you awake for sure. So maybe on the couch, I'm certainly not picking up a book, so I'm not going to act like that's going to be my answer. Like, I'll just read something quick. That's not going to do it for me. So I don't know, man. Like, that's tough.
Well, it's different. Like, the regular version of it is because I go to sleep to like YouTube every night because I get it without the ads, so I don't have to worry about getting woken up by like a commercial that's like insanely too loud that kills the vibe. And usually it's like either golf or fishing or something gaming related, something that I can like doesn't really have a story arc to it that I can fall asleep to, and it usually works. At 3:30 in the morning, I wake up to the sound of a golf swing or something like that, and I'm like, oh, that's nice. But then sometimes I'll just switch it to dark screen thunderstorm. Maybe I should just start out with it that way. But I don't know. I for some reason I like falling asleep to the screen doing something. So usually I'll fall back asleep. I guess I'm not too worried about it. It is wild how when you do get up at 3:30 or 4 and you do have that energy and you're like, I could go for a walk right now. Or it's like I'm ready for the day, kind of like I was worried. I'm not even tired. And then sometimes when I do fall back asleep and get up at 6:30 or whatever, I'm like, I'm so tired. I don't understand why I'm so tired now. And I wasn't when I got up at 4 a.m. Why am I way more tired than I was then? This is insane. I should have just started my day. I can't even get up. How does this even work? How is my body working? The idea of you sitting on the couch, that's maybe I'll try it. It just because I've done that in my life where you're like, it's 3 in the morning, either you're walking either through a dark kitchen or just sitting on the couch in a place you're not normally, and it's just you're seeing the world through a different lens. And it's kind of trippy to see that. Like, do you ever like go outside your door or something and look at the street and nothing happening, or out the window, just like at the witching hour and just nobody's doing anything, and it's like you're in a completely different world.
Right.
It's very
because
bizarre. You're
like, I'm normally not cognizant of this world, meaning the world of these hours and such like that. It's like, it's the same concept of visiting a literal location you've never been before. You're like, so what happens here while I'm existing on my plane? So you really start getting weird with it. So that's what you should do is embrace the existential aspect of waking up at that hour and just really send yourself for a total mind fuck. Because if nothing else, you'll either learn something interesting or you'll be exhausted and go back to sleep.
I did have a functional day of work on Friday, and I was like, I'm going to have some caffeine, and I didn't. I forgot. I've actually, for the last few weeks, I've kind of weaned off caffeine accidentally. I don't even know why.
Okay.
But I have it maybe one day a week now that I can think of, and I don't know what that's doing for me. I just remembered that I stopped doing it, and I was like, wait, why don't I buy the caffeines anymore? And what is that doing for me? I don't know. Like,
we'll see.
I guess it's probably good, but Maybe I'll dip my toe back into it today.
Let me ask
into
you the
dew.
important thing, because it's 2025 and this is what really matters. Is have you made sure that every day you share with people that they're bad for needing caffeine? Like, do you be like, oh, I remember when I was like you? No, I do not do caffeine anymore. No, I am trying to cleanse myself of that, and I don't think I could. I don't think I could. Like, you got to make sure you get snobby about it, because that's the only way that it really works.
This is the first time I'm revealing it.
Okay. Yeah. Oh no, a reveal.
So I probably need to. Start doing that.
Exactly.
At work next
like,
week.
You revealed it here, and that's fine because you can talk about it, but you're not passing judgment yet. So get your feet wet, talk about it first, but then don't forget to make other people feel bad for not doing what you're doing, because that'll make you feel better. Don't build yourself up. That. Push others down. Stop building yourself up. Push others down.
I like to do it in this way of like, you know, I think especially when I was like having pretty high anxiety stages, I was like, a lot of the recommendations are usually like, hey, dial back on the caffeine. And I get that part of it, because then you're not like thumping and, you know, jittery or anything like that.
That's
caffeine,
kind of
it's just a stimulant. It's
right.
a stimulant. You know?
That's science. Like, I get that one. That's actually a pretty sound explanation. But anyway,
so I did dial it back, and then I did tell people that too. I had to let people know, because people were like, "Oh, I don't drink coffee," or actually, I'm not even having. I might have like 10 milligrams of caffeine a day, just so they know.
If you start talking about milligrams,
let me tell you about milligrams.
If you fucking start talking about the actual quantity of caffeine you're having, you've reached that total douche level.
You know, caffeine really is a drug. So let me tell you about that.
You say you're straight edge, but I saw you
Let's go. I'm bored. Let's go.
I saw you having a decaffeinated coffee, and technically there's traces of caffeine in decaf coffee, so I don't know how you say you're straight edge.
Well, then you also can add in something like, well, a lot of our energy really comes from the food that we eat. Throw one of those at somebody to really like when they're, when they're chopping down.
Food is fuel.
On a bagel.
Food is fuel.
Yeah, and that doesn't last. I mean, it's great. It's not a plan for. I mean, it is for a lot of people. I think there is like, what's his name, Michael Pollan or something like that, who's written like a lot of like science-based nutrition, but like does have like a book about how caffeine is one of the worst drugs that we have as a culture in terms of like our reliance on it, and
we normalize the shit out of it. Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
All right.
That being said, I might dip in today because it feels so good. When you don't have it for a little bit, and then all of a sudden you get a little in you. Yeah, tap that vein. It's like, ooh, I feel like I can do anything today. So
I quit caffeine because I knew the great reward that would happen once I broke that streak. Yeah. Oh man, it's like, so you weren't quitting to quit? No, I wanted that much more of a rush from it because I miss it, because I love it. That sounds good.
I'm gonna pound an entire Celsius today, just to really the whole thing.
Just butt chugging, man. Let it really take action.
Let it get in. Yeah. Maybe I'll have half of one just to feel it out. Yeah. But like I said, like, I haven't been sleeping as well lately. Maybe I need that. Maybe I need nighttime caffeine to help me sleep. No, that's a terrible.
I think that's a very reasonable take.
I don't understand the people that are like, no, I drink coffee right before bed. Like, that's a level of caffeinated stimulus that I can't, like, you're so wired that you can't not have it, because that'll make you too restless. You have to be satiated with the caffeine. Maybe that's a level. Maybe, I don't know. I wish I liked coffee. I swear I do. The smell, just in the morning when I'm over somebody else's house that has it.
Yep.
It smells wonderful. And the people that have it at work, I'm like, this must be amazing. I don't like it, but it's got to feel so good. It's got to feel so good to shit before you go to work instead of have to right on your way to work as soon as you leave the house. To be able to get that out. The power of the diuretic,
Now I don't know that we've talked about this. I'm sure we
Probably,
have,
right?
but do you want to shit at work or do you want to shit at home?
No, I don't want to. Some people are. That's true. Some people are into it because it's like company time,
Yep.
company dime, whatever that
I was
thing
that
is.
guy when I was at the office building. I reveled in the fucking time that I got to spend in the shitter.
I think I would if I had like if it was a bathroom like so when I worked in an office building, it'd be like a shared office many times. There'd be either a single bathroom or it'd be like like multiple stalls where maybe multiple offices too, so you didn't know who was in there.
Yeah.
I don't like the way our bathroom works because there's only one stall in there and two urinals for whatever the hundred something people that are working at one time, and so I don't know why. I feel poop shame for some reason. Unless it's an emergency.
That's the employees only bathroom.
I will, but yeah. And I
There's
could
only
use the
one
public
stall?
one, but I don't want to get jabbed by a needle in my asshole.
There's only
from
one.
the-
Does Wegmans have that big of a problem with like their public stalls being used for like drugs and homeless people and stuff?
There's been needles found, among other things, in there.
Fucking
Yeah.
great.
Plus, you never know the damage. Like if you're gonna use the public restroom, you better use it at like 8:30, 9 latest. If you're going in there after lunch.
So
It's
wow,
gonna be
even Wegmans doesn't have
literal
the
shit show.
power to overcome that, huh? Like you'd think like Wegmans would take the route of being like, we have a name to uphold. Like we're gonna have a fucking bathroom attendant. Like we're gonna literally have a person who's gonna clean, cater, and bodyguard our fucking public toilet the entire time the store is open. Like I wouldn't put it past Wegmans to do that. To actually have
Hands
a
out the
straight
mint
up
cologne.
the bathroom guy sitting there fucking regulating to make sure that people can enjoy their pee-pees and poo-poos. So that was going to be something I asked you. You kind of waltzed into it, but so working in larger office buildings, especially back when I was in Buffalo, we had the large scale bathrooms, which were, there was multiple bathrooms in the building that were like four stalls and like 2 or 3 urinals, line of sinks, etc. But then there was a couple of the single shot. You lock the room. The room is yours. It is a bathroom. Tis a powder room. Now,
I just took an upper decker.
weighing the pros and cons, the pros of the secluded bathroom is obviously you get a room to yourself. You're casual. You can kind of, you can de-stress. You can really
Have your
kind
way
of,
with it.
You can find like you're at home and be comfortable and things like that. No people talking on their cell phones in the stall next to you. There's not water
Unreal.
usually everywhere.
Let's put a pin in that.
Yeah.
Let's put a pin
So,
in that,
like-
by the way.
Now, the cons is the terrifying concept that you just took a poo-poo, no matter how well or poorly it went, and you open the door and someone's waiting or approaching the bathroom to use
It's
it after.
you.
If anything is to their disliking, it is on you. You were the one that ruined their bathroom that they just need to try to like take stress off of their mind. So like, I don't know if it smells. I don't know if it's streaks. I don't know if there's water or pee-pee that got somewhere that it shouldn't have been. I don't know if the sink just is too splishy splashy. I don't know. But if they don't have a good time, they're going to remember it's you. You made eye contact. They saw all of your features.
Yeah.
They processed it like Arnold does in Terminator movies. Like it's all the data is processing. And they are going to associate that with you probably for the end of time. Whereas a public
You're the
one-
bathroom destroyer from now on.
Right.
Yeah.
In the public one, they may know you did something weird, maybe. But in the bigger like bathrooms, no one's as judgy about what just happened. Even if you walk out and it's smelly, they kind of are like, "Hey, you know what? It happens to all of us." They give you a fucking fist bump theoretically, and like they're kind of like, "Hey, man, good luck the rest of the day. I'm pulling for you." Whereas if you ruin their solo bathroom experience, they're just like, "Fuck you." So I don't know which one. If you have the option of both, which one you taking?
I take the single, and if you have a single bathroom at any workplace, public environment, it's got to be loaded. You got to have the Febreze in there. It's got to be
sure. That's the company. The company needs to understand what the protocol is.
Provide that, yeah. And the key is also like you got to be courtesy flushing all day. Like as soon as
even if
Brown
you're like
touches
I
water,
poo the
I'm hitting the
cleanest
button.
poos,
I'm
I
hitting
don't
the
care.
button.
Yep. Smash that button. Hit that like button.
Smash that poop button. Yeah, right.
Yep, smash that poop button.
Yeah, it's a requirement. I'll do it in the public version too. Plus, it can a good power flush can provide a little sound barrier for when you've got a little tooting going on, something maybe violently. You can double down. You can keep it.
Those
going.
Commercial flushes are a lifesaver. That gurgle, that's
Tools
a
of the
loud
trade.
flush.
Tools of the trade.
Yeah.
But so I go that way. I mean, what would you do if? So let's say you're in the oftentimes our restroom smells like shit, as it would. But I just go in there. I use the urinal. I'm washing my hands, and then somebody walks in, and I'm like, how do I need to say it wasn't me? Do I need to say, wow, this smells really bad, but it wasn't me. It definitely wasn't me.
All right. You can.
Is my fly up? I better make sure my fly's up because I just peed. I definitely just peed.
Yeah, see, that's what I imagine you saying, and I'm like, no, Matt, that sounds like a sell. Like it's like wrestling and acting. You're overselling. It seems fake because you're overselling. So that's the problem. Is what is that fine line? Now, if you add some humor to it, I think people trust you. So, how I would say it, if I made a horrible, horrible smell, and I'm the only person in there, and I'm washing my hands, and they come in, so I'm trying to pull off the lie. I'm saying something like, "All right, man, it's up to you to come in here. I just got in here, and it's brutal. So I don't know who was in here right before me, but they left something violent.
Work.
Like you have to you have to use humor because people like the humorous person. They'd be like, this guy's such a character. No way he would defile this bathroom. That's how I process it. So you got to use humor, but it can't be.
What is it?
You can't make it
was
weird.
It chili
man.
dog day today?
Yeah. There you go. That's something better. Yep.
Yeah.
There you go. If it's after lunch, if it's right after lunch, talk about lunch, question someone's choices for lunch, something like that.
I can't believe somebody got paid to do this today.
Oh, that's actually a good one.
Rough.
Now, hold on. If you're in a public bathroom, now for your work where it's possibly public, you got to be careful. You got to be careful because maybe a customer. See, now that's nice, though. You can blame a customer. Yeah, I think I saw a wiry guy just come out of here. He did something horrible. Like, hey, did you get the number of that garbage truck that just drove by this bathroom? Did you get the license plate on that thing? I don't know, but yeah, I think you speak
the other
up.
part. So our restrooms are in the break room. You have to go into the break room, then go into the restroom. So you're on a time limit.
Who
to
set
me,
that
that's
up?
the part of it where it's like, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's so other people can't get into it. I don't know, but
There's got to be a better
tough
place.
because then you are in a time limit. You can't just be in there for 10, 15 minutes, because it's like, oh, that guy shit for a long time. Even though who cares, it doesn't matter, but it's just the shame. You come out, you go in, somebody people can be sitting right, looking where the bathroom entrance is. So you're like, you can't.
If I have to take a shit, 0% chance I'm shitting in that bathroom. I'm going to the public one. 0%, Matt. Mm-hmm. I'm not a man who likes to say never, but I'm never shitting in a bathroom connected to the break room where people can A, time you, B, have their breaks ruined by whatever you happen to produce, C, you get a calico cut pants type situation and they waltz out and they're like, oh, you got a little piddle. No way. Who's putting it by the break room? That is the ultimate test of shame. It needs to be, you are an industrial grocery store. It needs to be off the loading dock area or something where the smell, even if worst case scenario, it just goes into a big open space where there's a lot of movement and smells going on anyway. It should be in a loading dock and or back area where the other groceries and stuff are kept, something like that. Come on.
Keep the shit by the food. Not in the break room
It's boxed.
where it doesn't belong.
It's boxed. I'm not saying put it in the meat department, okay? It's boxed. Relax. I'm not saying put it right off the deli where the cheeses are. Get stuck to the cheese.
For all the
smell.
shame, all the poop shame I would feel, there are many more people who feel none of that and will spend a lot of their time in there.
Every day I experience someone who does not think of these situations.
And they are the people that we're going to pull the pin back out on their phone, watching whatever, like sometimes talking on the phone. I don't get that. Like, I don't mind pulling my phone out, especially at home. Like, I'm playing games, I'm watching YouTube videos. Like, I'll take a real break from whatever I got going on at home to really enjoy my time.
Yes, you should.
I might watch a whole video, maybe two. I can't get up until my left leg starts to go.
Fire up Return to the King extended version. I don't know. I got nowhere to be.
If I'm not standing up, like on one leg, kicking the other one, like real hard, trying to get it going, like using my hand to hold myself up on the sink to wait for the blood to come back into it, I didn't do it right. I didn't do it right. I did not spend my time well. That's not the way. But
amazing
people, I don't understand the public, like especially phone calls. And if they're willing to do phone call on the toilet, they're willing to do FaceTime on a toilet. I guarantee it. Like once you go, it's a slippery slope. I guarantee it. Doesn't mean that they're like broadcasting it up like a selfie, but they probably just have it held up, like, which I don't understand that anyway. That's a different conversation. But the people who FaceTime but just use it to talk, don't actually look at the phone. It's a bizarre part. I don't understand that. But on the toilet, it's unwelcome. I don't enjoy being in a restroom with somebody who's talking or listening to something or making noises. Like I've heard people you hear people making noises in the bathroom. You must have, like, dude, I don't mean like
they sound like
pleasure.
I
mean,
don't
like,
understand.
Awkward.
I worry about how many people on any situation in life. I'm worried about how often I can hear people breathe. I'm like, do I sound like this and I just don't hear it because I'm me? So like, yeah, like you just hear like the.
Oh, that one. Oh God.
And I'm like, and that's
shit.
folks, that's at the urinal too.
Shit.
And I'm like, what is happening over there? I'm like, do I sound like, can you hear my breathing and emotions that much? Or is this person just like, nope, I'm having a hard time and everyone's going to fucking hear about it. Like, I don't get that. I'm like, did you just run a marathon and now you're trying to open up a Stern jar of pickles? What is happening over there? I've never had.
I didn't do fucking shit.
Even if I've ever had to go like really tough, and we've all had those ones. Even if I'm by myself, I'm not making the type of noises I hear from some people that are just trying to like have a casual Tuesday dump. Like, it's so weird. So weird.
That is a noise I will never unhear.
Yeah.
That was perfect acting, Jeff. That's on your Mount Rushmore of acting reels.
So secondhand shame. I also, if it's stall, I'm hoping to God, and when I'm done, if I'm the first one done, I'm hoping to God I leave the bathroom before that son of a bitch steps out of his stall. I don't want to see you. I don't want to see you. I don't want I don't want to know who's doing this to me. I don't want a visual. Certainly, if it's a coworker, I don't want them. Even if I like them, dislike them, I don't want I want this to just be a theoretical. And the problem is when you choose to step out, and I have to see you, you've now made it real. You've now made this your thing. Where it could have been no one's thing. But right, you're right. It's if this is some sort of race, if I hear the other guys finishing first, I'm like, guess I have at least another 2 minutes to go because I'm diverting my eyes. I don't want to look through the slats and see some sort of characteristic like a shirt color or anything. Nope. I gotta put my head down. I'm gonna read the next article. I'm gonna look at the next video or two. And then once I hear that exit door shut,
Ghost is
now I
clear.
can start
Yes.
my process, because by the time I get to the door,
Hold that door! Hold that door! Hold that door!
don't hold that door. By the time I now start my process and get out the actual exit, it could be any one of these motherfuckers that I see in the room. So, stop.
And I don't want I feel like some people feel like they have to, if somebody comes in, it's like, oh, I better hurry up and get out of here. It's like, no, just sit, please stay. Please peacefully stay there. Wait till I leave. I don't need to know that your butthole was just agape. I don't need to know that, to picture that at all.
Especially if we know each other
please
on a
don't.
personal level. Like, at work. Like, I'm like, oh, come on, man. Like, I like you. I don't want to know that you just pooed.
It's funny, though. Like, what's the down, like, I love, like, the idea that we're, I think, putting out here is that, like, someone that we know would come out of there and be like, did you just shit? Did you just take a shit in the toilet at work? Did you just shit in there? Oh, my God.
What the fuck's wrong with you?
Are you fucking
psycho?
serious? Dude.
It's not for shitting.
Gross. Did you just do a perfectly natural thing at a time that you needed to? Did you just, instead of shit your pants at work, go to a hole that's designed to flush it into the sewer system? You fucking freak. Ew. That is awful. Dude, shit at home or hold it like the rest of us.
Have you ever gone home?
Live in discomfort.
I feel like you talked about this. Have you ever gone home to go to the bathroom? You were at anywhere and you went home? I don't think I've ever done it. I don't think I've ever been somewhere where I've gone home and then left home. See, that's the thing, is you have to leave home right after. So I've never been somewhere, suddenly made a decision to go home to then leave home because I only went home to poo. Like, I've held it and then been like, I'm going to go home in 20 minutes anyway. I'll just wait. I can hold it. That I'm not saying. I'm saying you're at a place. I have to poo. Given whatever circumstances you go, I'm going to just drive home, leave it there, and then I will continue my day.
Absolutely. I mean, it usually is a work thing. Like, if I'm working in town, obviously I'm just minutes away. So that's especially like around lunchtime or something. That's a good, like, oh, you know what? I got a package, and my neighborhood's a little sketchy, so I better go home and pick up the package and then drop off a package, and then I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Just got to go do that real quick. I got something real expensive on the doorstep, that I better go. Yep, there it is. Yep. No. I know it's a dark screen. Don't worry. I can see it's filtered.
I was gonna say, I
really
could
was
see
looking
you
at it.
just overdoing it, where someone's like, "Why would you be talking about this thing this much?" Like, yeah, hold on. You know how Amazon usually sends the delivery confirmation? I'm looking for the photo. They usually send the photo, and they're like, "Why are you telling me these things?"
Here's a picture of a box in front of a door, but it's my door for sure. It definitely is.
You Google image a picture of a package in front of a doorway, just so you could show them.
Yeah. Here's a Ring camera right here. No, it's raining by my house. It is. Like, I know it's just a mile away, but it is raining over there. It's weird how it's not raining here, but it's definitely there. So I gotta go. Then I like wet my hair, so when I come back, I'm like, see, it was raining. So I got all wet from walking in the rain in front of my house.
No, you show them like this.
That it was raining.
You show them this. You're like, see, they're delivering a package to my door. Like, that's Amazon. Yeah. You can see it says Amazon.
Yeah. Hey, better than shitting at work. I tell you that. Who could bring myself to that? Couldn't possibly. Oh man. Oh, do you remember? I don't think I ever shit at school, really, that I can remember. Like, it definitely wasn't a regular thing. If it was like an emergency.
High school?
Yeah.
If I ever, I did. Definitely it comes up. I don't think I could consciously say, like, yeah, no, I spent every 8 hours. I timed it meticulously that I never pooed during school. No. If I did, I'm sure this goes for anyone in any high school, and I would love to hear everyone's particular bathroom in their high school. Locker room. If I was in the basement, locker room would happen. So, like, if I had to take a lunch poo, a science poo, you go to the locker room because it's usually empty because, you just don't go at the beginning or the end of the period because it's empty because everyone's in gym and they're either outside
gym class
or
is
upstairs.
going on, yeah.
So either do that one
Wow,
or...
what a hack.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Or the other one was I would roll the dice because traffic is low, but because traffic is low, you also run the risk is I would do the music wing bathroom.
Yes, because you could run into somebody you know.
Exactly. That's the problem. For band geeks, it's really tough because, everyone that's going to be in that wing is going to know who you are. And that's risky. Big time risks. But always open, generally an easy go. But the problem with art, dude, speaking of high school, into transition somewhat out of shitting, because this episode is just a pile of shit. I'm glad that the connections are working.
Let's make sure though that people, this has been an important 30-minute discussion that I would love if you were ever going to provide any kind of feedback or commentary on any of our episodes, please let this be the one. I would love your feedback on your personal work shit stories or philosophies. I think we've done had a good dialogue philosophically about it.
For sure. Love to answer your questions if you have them, but would love to give you feedback on your own experiences. The weird thing with our school, and so we had, I always forget, we had 9 bells in high school. Mm-hmm. We had 8 in one. We had 8 in middle school and 9 in high school, I think. Because someone at Auburn City School District is just a fucking moron and doesn't know how to organize things. But anyway, I digress. The problem was that we'd have 4 minutes between classes.
Yeah.
Every year I got my schedule. Legit. I'm like, when can I even fly by my locker to make a book exchange? That was the only thing I was always processing is when do I have time to make my swap? Teachers are like, when you had to ask to go to the bathroom, teachers were appalled that you had a digestive system. And they were like, why didn't you go between classes? Motherfucker, I have 4 minutes between classes. How?
Yeah, you're not exaggerating. That's what it was that way.
It was literally 4 minutes, folks. 4 minutes between classes.
Ben chime.
And you might have a class that is at least, 1 story is nothing. Possible 2 stories. And, 500 feet away from where your next class was. So you're like, wait, I have to also plan to know where a bathroom is that's going to be available. So I'm hoping there's a men's bathroom there. I don't need to make a book exchange. And that whatever's brewing inside of me is going to certainly evacuate itself in a timely fashion of 90 seconds or less. Yeah, unlikely. I hated that about high school is that there was never an okay time to take a shit. Pressure, anxiety, the window was never open, for lack of a better term. There was never an open window for shitting.
And because I never wanted to be the guy, I don't think I ever did. I didn't want to wear a backpack through school. But there would be people who were so paranoid about it that they would put their whole locker in their backpack. Remember there was kids who their backpack
the Pat
was
Henry
3 times the size of them, walk forward.
Pat Henry was the man. Kid was 5 foot nothing, probably a $1.05 soaking wet, but his backpack went outwards a Quasimodo hunch. Went outwards 6 feet.
Yeah, unreal. It had to be shredded calves after that.
Right. The core on that kid had been second to none. Yeah, man.
Moving back into high school shitting.
Okay,
I just remembered a story because I was trying to picture the basement of the school, which is where I think physics was down there. So yeah, in 12th grade physics,
it was
I
all
felt
science down there. Yeah,
I felt like I was gonna puke or shit or something. So it was we did a quiz or something right at the beginning of the class, and I just did it, and I was put it on the desk. I was I don't feel well. I got to go to the bathroom. And I just sat in the bathroom for 20 minutes, and then I was I actually do feel really sick. So without telling it, I just went up to the nurse. It's the first time I ever actually went to the nurse for school for something ever, I think. And I was I don't know, something's wrong. I don't feel well. Like, it's like, you want to go home? I was like, no, I don't know. Because I had a hockey game that day too. I knew. So I was like, if you leave school for sick, you can't do like your activity. So I was like, no, I just got to like sit here. And then all of a sudden, it must have been towards the end of class. Or might even been a double period or something. Maybe in the second period of it, the nurse gets a call. And I just hear, yeah, he's up here. And I was like, oh, yeah, I didn't. Never told anybody.
I went MIA after that physics quiz.
And some kid told me, I forgot who. He's like, oh yeah, no, he sent me to go find you in the bathroom, and you weren't there. So we're like wondering where you were.
What?
I was like, no. It's like, I'm dead. I took a shit and I died. Basically,
so
that's what I guess they thought.
Our senior year, which is when you took physics, what was your physics teacher's name? I can't remember his name. Start with a K?
Sure. That sounds familiar. I can almost picture the class more than I can his name.
Well, I took physics as well, but there were so many people taking physics that year that the one physics teacher we had at Auburn couldn't take another physics class because he needed a free, like X amount of free class. So my physics teacher was the earth science teacher who sat in, I believe, on your class, learned physics, what to teach that day, and then turned around and taught it to my class later.
I think you're right.
My guy was Mr. Grow, but Mr. Grow was a earth science teacher who then taught us physics. And I remember, like, literally someone, I don't know if it was you or someone in your class said, like, yo, your teacher just sits in on our class in the back and learns physics to then turn it around to you guys. So good luck with your second-rate physics. I'm like, what a fucking pile of shit.
Because I think, mine was like Bell or Mod 1 and then 2 every other day or however it worked.
Mine was like 3 or 4 remember. Because I remember, we had gym right before it some days. I want to say mine was period 4 because we had gym every other day on period 3.
No, 1 must have been music. Wasn't it always music? Bell
that's
1?
true. Small band was.
Yeah. But yeah, I was in 12E physics. So it meant enriched. So, I mean, we were super smart. It means you get like 5 bonus points really on your grade, I think.
They wouldn't let me into 12E because I wasn't good enough at chemistry. And I'm like, it's fucking math, and I'm in advanced math. Put me in the fucking enriched physics. They're like, no, we can't. I'm like, fuck you. Anyway.
Yeah.
I love it.
High school, huh?
There's nothing better than telling people that my calculus teacher, senior year, do you remember this? That Mr. Choi skipped the first and last day of school to go golfing? The first day of school, our teacher skipped to go golfing. And the second day, we're like, Mr. Choi, where are you? He goes, I just went golfing. And we're like, fucking A. This dude don't give a fuck. That's what.
No, you didn't do homework.
Boomer tenure was phenomenal in our high school tenure. Because, dude, so many teachers were on their last 5 years when we were there that so many didn't give a fuck. It was great.
Dude, yeah, Mr. Choi used to just rail on Clayton, this kid Clayton in our class. Like, if he didn't understand, and I was lucky because there was a lot of things I didn't understand either. If he would have asked me, I wouldn't have known it. But yeah, I always ask the kid Clayton, and he'd be like, I don't know, I don't get it. And he's like, no, you didn't do homework. And it's like that's not why, but he just like like you didn't do the work. It's like, what? Oh no, I did it, and I don't get it either. Appreciate you being
the scapegoat, Clayton. Because, there was no defending yourself. Because if you defended yourself, you were just going to prolong the verbal abuse and accusations.
Yeah, you
so
can't
you just
be like, no, I did do it.
Nope. Your best is just go like, just kind of sit there and hope he forgets. Oh, my God. But I remember being so blown away by the fact that we were taking like an AP course because then the new learning stopped in like March. And when you had a teacher who didn't give a shit after we took our AP test, Mr. Choi was like, I have 0 fucks to give from March till the end of the year. Like, he was like, he did not give a shit. Because, and I think there was a part level, because I had him for pre-calc. I don't know if you had him for pre-calc as well. But I had him for pre-calc and calc. And
2
so
years.
I think he literally, there was a level of respect for the students in calc, because it was like, you guys certainly don't need to be taking this class. You're choosing to like take this class. You're all going to go on to college because you're like choosing to do this. So I think he had a level of respect. But yeah, after we took that class, or after we took that test, which I remember being in the library for some reason, he didn't give a fuck from March to June. I think we took a separate final, but I'm not even certain that he did.
It didn't really matter.
Yeah.
It was probably like 2 equations or something
Yep.
like that. I feel like I remember him always saying too, like it always blew my mind that he also has had like multiple holes in one in his life. I think he told us that for some reason.
He had multiple
and
what?
that he holes in one,
Oh yeah, yep.
like playing golf. Yeah. And then he also, I feel like he always told us about this book that was called 1 + 1 = 2, and why, like how, and that was part of like the theory of calculating how, and it's like, I still don't understand what that means. Why does somebody have to do a theory on that or explain it? And I get it why, like in mathematically, why someone would have to prove it. I don't understand it though. I still to this day
And
think
that's
about
casual
it. And I'm
reading
like,
for him.
No, it is that. It just does.
He reads that like fucking Reader's Digest.
If somebody wants to throw that in the comments, why 1 + 1 = 2?
So I just want to refresh our memory. Yeah. I wonder if he's still alive. Anyway.
I know, unfortunately, well, Mr. Patterson, the English teacher with one eye, passed recently. I know that.
More like
Mr. Levy as well,
Pasterson.
the English teacher. It's weird to like think you get to an age, at some point. I mean, it's going to be our 25-year reunion next year, where probably a lot of your teachers are dead. That's kind of fucked up.
Because
Kind of like watching a movie from the 90s with animals and being like, or even the 2000s or the 10s and being like, oh, those dogs are dead.
But
That
I think
sucks to
people
about
10
that.
years behind us don't have that same thing, because we had a lot of baby boomer teachers. We had a lot of teachers that were
our parents' teachers were our teachers, basically.
Yeah. So like we had that round. Yeah. I had multiple people that my dad was like, that person was there when I was there. And I'm like, oh, fuck. So like, I think 10 years after us had a lot of younger teachers, so they won't have that same vibe. But yeah, I think I did a spot check on my elementary school, and 2 of my elementary school teachers are alive.
No chance. no chance. Really?
Yeah. Mrs.
Dude, do you
Burgett,
think Miss
my third grade
Piscotti's still
teacher.
a babe? And still Miss Piscotti?
Oh man.
She was like the 22-year-old student teacher, her substitute teacher, that would,
boy.
when she was in your classroom for the day, you were
You
like,
literally told
"Holy
everyone
fuck.
else, you're like, yo,
Let's
I
go."
got Miss Biscotti today. Like, for sure, that was a real thing.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
Dudes. And then,
Oh, no. Jeff's not being recorded again. I hope it stopped now. All right. Well, we might as well wrap it up then. I hope this one stopped recording like 10 minutes in, so we didn't get any. As long as we got through the poop stuff. Even though this is already cut out because... All right. I'm just going to say goodbye to everybody because Jeff's not being recorded. And I don't know when it stopped. He's saying balls and wieners, and don't forget that you can't hear him. He also said he does like shitting at work and spends a lot of time in there. And then he takes pictures of the poop going down and says magic as it's going down. I'm gonna go. All right.
Can't just want me more.